Hello. It is me, the king here, Melvin Ward. The segment of Mel's Perspective. It's a rendition of, I guess, an umbrella of Melvin Plays, but more of a late night tip to kind of be more intimate. The lighting is a little more different, the blue background and stuff like that, but that's neither here nor there. So today we're going to be talking about decision making, and it can either be good or bad decisions depending on the situation. And one of the things I really want to harp on today is asking for wisdom and knowing the red flags when it comes to certain situations, either it be talking to certain people or making certain life decisions. Because I feel when you get older, you have to be very strategic on the decisions that you make, because those decisions that you make can and will reflect your future. I understand when you get older, I mean not when you get older, but when you get when you're younger, I guess you kind of get a pass for making mistakes and making certain decisions because you're young, and so you're learning this life. But I feel when you get older, it's different, because it's more of a you should know better type of life, if that makes any sense. So the older you get, it's more of like, well, you should know better. You should know right from wrong. But I feel when it comes to making those certain decisions, especially when it comes to talking to certain people or posting certain things on social media, you have to be very, you got to be very strategic. Certain things you say, you can't say, because this is all about the whole cancel culture. So you can't say certain things, you can't do certain things, you can't talk to certain people because you might be looked in a certain way. You can't hang around with a certain group of people because you might be looked at in a certain way. Especially for me being an artist, an entertainer, and an influencer. There's a big microscope, especially when you get higher into celebrity, because I feel certain decisions that you make in the past might catch up to you when it comes to maybe the higher up in your celebrity, because some people may kind of feel like, oh, this person did this to me, so that now I can really expose them for what they did in the past. And in some ways it can be petty. Because, you know, maybe it wasn't as reconciled as you thought it was going to be reconciled. So you have to, in some ways, you have to accept the decisions that you've made in the past. You know, there's some things that I've done, things that I've said that I regret saying. Especially, you know, as I've gotten older, I've realized that whatever consequence in my life that I've done, I have to accept that, and we as people have to accept the decisions that we've made and will make. But for me, I feel it's about asking for forgiveness and washing your hands with it, and knowing that you've forgiven at the end of the day, and being able to move on. That's more of my take on that. You know, when it comes to certain decisions that we make as people, and just know that we're human, we're not perfect, but each day we should strive to be better based on the decisions that we've made. So when because I feel each day we're tested. Each day we're tested. Certain areas that we might be weak in, certain areas that we might struggle in, certain maybe addictions that you might have, certain people that might get on your nerves, and that person might come across and might say something to kind of trigger you. So it's just one of those things where you just have to be careful, and you have to be mindful, and you have to ask for that wisdom when it comes to being better and doing better. I guess being Mel's perspective, I can only be transparent as I possibly can without revealing too much, but there's some things that I've done, in the past where I regret making the decision. And sometimes those things just come up in reverse head, and it's like, man, I thought that I was over this, or I thought that this was done and then this was squashed, and I thought I could trust a certain person, but I don't know, you know what I mean? But I think the number one thing that we all should do and strive to do is accept it. Accept the decisions that you made, are they good or bad. Accept the consequences, whether they're good and bad, and learn from those decisions, whether they're good or bad decisions, and move on. You can't allow, this is also what I want to say, you can't allow, and you can't give people that power, especially if they have something on you, or something to kind of make you look bad. Maybe it's a secret that someone may have against you, or something that you told them in confidence, that, hey man, I'm going through such and such, and I trust you with this word. And sometimes they may say, oh, you can trust me, but then when you do something bad to trigger them, they're going to bring that up. And you thought that you could trust them, but you can't. But it's based on the decision that you made. Like, man, I don't know if I should tell this person this, or I shouldn't do this. I don't know. But it's just based on your decision. That is a part of life. That's a part of living. And I feel for me that it's okay to make decisions and to make mistakes, rather. It's okay to make mistakes, but as long as you learn from those mistakes, as long as you learn from those mistakes. Now, if you made a decision and you didn't learn from that, and you do the same thing again, so then it's basically one of those like, okay, fool me once, shame on me. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know what I mean? So, okay, first time, my bad. I will never do this again. If you do it again, it's like, man, dang. I was supposed to learn from this, but I didn't, But it's just one of those situations where we just have to learn how to learn from our decisions and to move on and accept it for what it is, for what happened, and to grow from it at the end of the day. That's my perspective on decision making. Make the decision, accept it, learn from your decision, move on. And I think I said accept it already, but yeah, move on and grow from it. So that's it for this evening of Mel's Perspective. It's your favorite Darman actor and your king here, Melvin Ward, signing off from Mel's Perspective. And I'm out.